What is going on, guys? DBG here, and today we are going to be doing, another one, our monthly top 100 video. So I delayed my one a day. I was going to do it yesterday, but decided to, leave it for today, basically because, we saw that Ty did his one yesterday, so there's no point releasing both of them on the same day, because I can react to his one and then go and make my own one. So anyway, before we get on to it, if you guys are new to the channel, subscribe. We are trying to 265,000 subscribers by the end of this month. Right now we're at 264. We've just hit that, literally 264,001 subscriber as I looked at my phone right there, which is absolutely crazy. So a huge thank you guys for all the support on the channel recently. It's nuts. It's way, like, something that I could never expected really to hit. I've hit 265k. Like, that is just a number that's beyond belief. But yeah, like, so now we are going to get onto the top 100. And also, lads, this is the main place for my team content on YouTube. We upload more MyTEAM content than anywhere else. If you guys want to hear about MyTEAM news, this is the best place for that. It's the first place for the majority of MyTEAM news on this platform. So anyway, now let's get on to the top 100. So number 100 is a player that you guys probably expect to be much higher. I don't really like him. It's Scottie Pippen, Invincible. So yeah, he's got 99 almost all his stats. He's got 65 half badges. Thing with Scottie though, it's just that base 30, and I don't like Scottie's player build. I've never really liked Scottie in 2K, and like that goes, for me, this goes way back. It goes way back with Scottie Pippen. I was not a fan of Scottie Pippen, like, even in 2K14 when everyone like swore that Scottie Pippen Sapphire is the best card in the game. I still wasn't even a fan of Scottie Pippen back then. So like, it's not even a love-hate, it's a hate-hate relationship between me and Scottie at 2K. But at the same time, there are a lot of good players that aren't on the list. He's nowhere near the worst Invincible. Like, I don't have Invincible Harden on the list. I don't have Invincible Oscar Robertson. Don't have Invincible Dwight Howard. So there are a hell of a lot of Invincibles I don't have. And even some of my favorite players are in the 90s. And there are definite, like, personal preference players that are on this that no one else would really have, but I don't have them number 5. Then 99, we've got Gerald Wallace. I just think Gerald Wallace, his player build is kind of similar to Scottie. Scottie's longer wingspan, but I just think Gerald Wallace gets some better animations. I much prefer base 4 to base 30. Again, they both have this, the same dribble 6. I mean, 75% of the people that are on this list have got Pro 2. I've got the Pro 2 size of an escape. They've got the Pro 3 behind the bank, and they've got base 4, or they've got a decent base on very quick. That's like 80% of these players. But Gerald Wallace, again, decent shot. He's a little bit undersized. You can play it too. And I don't know. I just prefer him in game to Scottie. Should he be better than Scottie? No. I just don't like 30. And it's a weird one. Like, I hate it. I dislike it more on Scottie than I dislike it on Poku. Although it is definitely a negative on Poku. It is. If Pokuševski had, for example, 98, like Hito, if they changed Pokuševski and gave Pokuševski 98, Pokuševski would be probably in the top 3 players in this game. Heck, if they even gave him, wouldn't even need 98, if they even gave him freaking Brook Lopez base or something instead of base 30, we'd be looking at Pokuševski as one of the easily top 10 players in the game. So yeah, we have got him at 99. At 98, we have got, this is a bit of a weird one, and it's a card that is so underrated in my opinion. It's Brook Lopez. So Brook Lopez has everything you need from big man. His speed is good. His he got 46 hops. Like, there's a couple of inside scoring badges he's kind of lacking, but he's got all the defensive badges. He's got 92 lateral quickness. He's got Lopez based on very quick. He's got a wide player build if you're on current gen. He's got the Pro 2 side to side on next gen. Yeah, he doesn't have the greatest behind the back in the world. He's got shifty dribble style as well. Showtime dunks. He doesn't have Showtime, which is, again, you can put gold Showtime on him. I don't think gold versus half Showtime is that much of a difference. And also, Posterizer is one of the most irrelevant badges in the game on next gen. So yeah, like, Lopez, again, do I think he's an elite center? No, but I do think he's quite good. Also, I can guarantee you there are better players at every position that I forgot on this list than some guys that are on the list. It's just when you're picking 100 players, you're bound to forget at least one. So, after Brook Lopez, we have got Deandre Ayton, Dark Matter. So this guy's now cheap because he was part of the locker code last night. And he's cheap, and things like a lot of the, like Kevin Durant is cheap as well. They gave us a locker code for a couple of quantum players, which is annoying because I pulled Luka in a quantum pack today. And I put him up for like 5k lower than he was, and 5 minutes later locker code comes, which is a little bit annoying. But the thing with him is, yes, he's got 58 half badges, but he's got 1 gold. So like he's missing quite a few badges. And I'm not the biggest fan of his release. Like I don't think it's a terrible release. I'm not the biggest fan. So he's got 89 3 ball, which is an okay jumper. Again, he's got all the shooting badges. Actually, you know what? 89 basically is 90. It's the same as 99. Like again, with coach, floor, general, and all those badges, it makes no odds. He's got shifty, pro 2, pro 3. He's a little bit too heavy to carry. And I don't know what it is with Deandre Ayton. He's 7'1". He should be way better than Lopez. Like Deandre Ayton should be in Embiid tier. Like Deandre Ayton should be seen as good as Joel Embiid. But he's not. Like it's a weird one. So Deandre Ayton is now... He is now in here in number 97, which is probably a little bit low for him, to be completely honest. So at 96, we have got one of my favorite players, Dean Wade. Dean Wade, lads, 6'9", 7 foot wingspan. In my opinion, the best release in the game, especially on next gen. He has got a half range extender. He's got basically all the key badges you need, except Deadeye. Does Dean Wade belong in top 100? Maybe, maybe not. Am I ever going to leave Dean Wade out of my top 100? Of course not. Of course not. Dean Wade will always be in my top 100. So at number 95, we have got Giannis Antetokounmpo's Galaxy Opal. I remember Ty put him in like his 90s. I'm like, he's way too low. But he's actually 90 on my list. Like 35 hops. The thing is, he's not the best on next gen. I do really like him on current gen. I think his release is good, his animations are good, but the problem is that you can't trigger any of Giannis's good animations with the slasher dribble style at this stage in the game. With the way the game is, the slasher dribble style is the worst in the game. Like fundamentals better. I mean base. Slasher might be better than base, but it's pretty bad. So it's tough to really create with him. He's gonna be a cone, and he's not even gonna be the greatest cone. Like when we've got the likes of Jonathan Isaac, Opal, who is actually relatively low on this list. When we've got him outside of the top, I'll say outside the top 75, and Isaac Opal is better than this card, it's tough to really put Giannis too high, which is a surprise because I would have still thought Giannis was going to be in the top 50. Like when I was first thinking about this list, I would have thought Giannis definitely finishing in the top 50, but no, surprisingly enough, Giannis is out here at number 75, or say not 75, he's in here at number 95. At number 94, we have got worst Dino, Kevin McHale. It's a weird one. Like I always thought, okay, yeah, like he's Dino, by the way, because he's 1 inch shorter, but he has the same ridiculous wingspan, which is more important than the height, to be completely honest, for a lot of players. He's got 94 3 ball, 89 speed, and you know what, like 89 speed, especially on next gen, is fine. Like for me, that's more than enough. Like again, you would rather it be a bit higher, but look, that's kind of the minimum speed. Like again, can't forget Bull's got 89 speed, so it's not always the worst thing in the world having speed there. If it's lower than 85, then it's a problem. But he's got like 94 lateral quickness. He's got like perfect stats, perfect badges. The thing is though, he's got Trae Young base, which is okay, which is all right. He's the same upper as Dino, Pro 2, but he's only got the Pro 4 behind the back, whereas I think Dino has got Pro 3. So like the Pro 4 behind the back is not ideal. And as well as that, only gold range. So it's a weird one. He's like a dark matter version of Dino, but he's worse. He should be a dark matter Dino, but he's worse. Then we have got a number 93. Oh my god, we spent more than a minute per player. So we've got Derozan and Derozan, 93 and 92. DeMar DeRozan, if you guys don't know, the Opal is probably better than the Dark Matter for the reason that the Opal, like their base stats wise, they're so similar that you may as well call them the same card. Difference is that the Opal has got Kobe release on very quick, whereas the Dark Matter has only got Kobe release on quick, which is which is a big deal. Trust me. Like, as someone who's tried to use both of these, the Opal is most definitely better. Okay, so then we have got Danny Granger at 91. He's a solid card. He's actually all right height for a power forward. I just don't think his player build is great for a power forward. Like, you can get away with a 6'9" power forward on next gen. You can't really on current gen just because of the giants out there. And height means way more on current gen than it does on next gen. Like, height he's massively important on next gen. Don't get me wrong. But if you are too tall, there are disadvantages to that. Like, Taco cannot play defense on next gen. Like, you will run around Taco and you will run around Yao Ming from start to finish of every game where you play against them on next gen. Whereas on current gen, they're the best defenders in the game. He's height. There's no downsides to height, whereas there are downsides to next gen. But Danny Granger, I don't like his release. Still got Pro 2, Pro 3, and perfect stats. If he could play small forward, he would be, well, wherever worthy is, he would be. Because he's just literally worthy worst positions. Then at number 90, we got Andrew Wiggins. Wiggins got base 22, which is good. He has got a good upper as well. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the card. And that's the thing, like, I mean, there was nothing wrong with freaking Scottie Pippen, and he's number 100. He's got base 22, perfect stats, perfect animations. I think he's a tiny bit skinny. Is it nitpicking? Of course it is. But, like, that's when, like, if you guys have seen the cards so far, how many of them have basically been perfect cards with perfect stats and perfect badges? Like, the only way you have to nitpick to separate these cards, which is a little bit annoying. So then we have got Tom Van Ardel at number is that 89? So 89, we got Tom Van Ardel. Tom Van Ardel is basically, he's got Dwayne Wade base. He's a taller Dwayne Wade with a worse wingspan. Stats wise, a little bit worse than Wade. Got like range extender, unbelievable 3-hunting point guard. Then we got Richard. The difference between these two guys literally is that Richard has got 98, which is a way better release on next gen compared to Wade. And the thing is with Richard is that Richard has got blinders. So Richard is the really good next gen player. And on current gen, I would definitely go with Tom. But they are incredibly similar players. And again, like 2K made them to being, like they came into the game and they were made to be similar players. Then we've got the slightly better version. We got Dwayne Wade. So he's got a longer wingspan, but he's in shorter. And initially, stats-wise, again, like 99 everything versus like the others. Stats don't mean anything. Like, contrary to what like Flight would tell you, stats don't mean anything. And total badges don't mean anything either. The difference is that D Wade gets unbelievably good defensive animations. He gets incredible chase down blocks on current gen specifically. If we're talking next gen, Wade's the worst of the three. If we're talking current gen, he's the best by a mile. But the thing is that if you are to see any of these three guys being ran at all in any sort of a high level setting, it would probably be in a current gen competition, someone deciding to run Dwayne Wade. I don't see the other guys being used at all. So Wade here at 87. Then we got George Gervin. He's so average. He is so average. His jumper is good. His animations are good. Like, I like Gallo base more than a lot of people like Gallo base. But he's just, again, he's just very meh. Like, he's fine. He's no flaws. But I mean, there's nothing great about the card either. So for me, I think this is the best spot to put him. He's quite low on the list, but still on the list. I put him way too low last month, though. I will admit that. Then we got Worthy. He is Danny Granger, but he has a better position. The exact same release, exact same jump shot. A few less Hall of Fame badges, a few more gold badges. I legit thought this was going to be an endgame card when he came out. When we were I remember everyone looking through the database the morning that he came out and was like, oh my god, they gave him Paul Pierce, or sorry, not Paul Pierce, they gave him Tony Parker base. And then we realized, we forgot that nobody's used Tony Parker this year, and we were like, okay, maybe Tony Parker base is not what we thought it was. And yeah, it kind of sucked. Then we have got a number 83, and I hate to have him 83. It's Eddie freaking Curry. He's like a budget Shaq. He's got that unbelievably wide player build. He's got everything. He's got everything you need for a center. Great release. Great jump shot. It's just, he doesn't have the greatest behind the back. He's perfect. He's perfect. But all these guys are perfect. But yeah, Eddie Curry, I have him down here at 83. And 38's chicken. Don't let anyone tell you different. 38 is absolutely chicken, lads. It is a quality release. Okay, so then after Eddie freaking Curry, we have got Lamar Odom. So Lamar Odom has got PG base, left-handed. His upper is a bit iffy. LaMarcus Aldridge's upper is a little bit iffy. But he's still got Pro 2, Pro 3. Perfect stats. He should be better than he is. Like, he should be better than he is in game. I think it's that upper. I really do think it's that upper. There's just something I don't like about Lamar Odom. I don't know what it is. It's just something I don't like about him. Which is why I got Larry Bird one ahead of him. So Larry Bird is a very similar card. They both play like the cone point guard role. So Larry plays as a cone point guard. So if you've got a small forward or 2 guard, especially on next gen, because he does have steady, and you want to just run him as a cone, play defense and hit wide open jumpers, I mean, you cannot go wrong with Larry Bird. So the thing with Larry Bird is, again, you guys can see he's got Larry base, which is a mediocre release to... No, it's all right. Like, it all depends on what gen. Like, it's a better... Funnily enough, he's 100 times better on next gen because he got steady, but his release is way better on current gen. Larry Bird releases chicken on current gen. It's mediocre on next gen. But, like, you can green so easily with Larry. He's not going to be attacking the basket too well, but he's an elite defender with his 97 lateral quickness, as well as the fact he's 6'9". He gets good defensive animations. A lot of the time, when I was running him, I would always put him on the opponent's point guard. Obviously, he was playing point guard. Oh, I've just used the wrong Larry Bird. I do apologize. It's this Larry Bird. I'm sorry. This Larry Bird. He's better in every way than the other Larry Bird, and he's still got his 97 lateral quickness. They are very similar cards, except this one has got Larry and very quick. And this one's got Pro 2, Pro 3. Or is it Pro 2, Pro 3? Or Pro 2, Pro 1. Sorry, Pro 2, Pro 1. Yeah, Pro 2, Pro 1. But yeah, he's got every shooting badge, all the defensive badges, and he will lock down your team's point guards. I don't know how I mixed up the 2 Larry Birds there. I do apologize. So then we have got a card that I'm somewhat high on. I'm not that high on him. It's Anthony Davis Galaxy Opal. I think he's 6'10". I'm not as high on AD as a lot of people. Like, I know the likes of Ty and a lot of guys that played the game heavily around the 250k period, they're so high on Anthony Davis because they all use the original Opal Anthony Davis in their 250k squads. So they had been practicing with that guy non-stop. Whereas for me, I haven't used this Anthony Davis. I didn't use that Anthony Davis at all. So my only experience really with Anthony Davis this year was Pink Diamond onwards. So yeah, we've got this AD right here at number 80. At number 79, we got Wendell Carter Jr. So Wendell Carter Jr. has got more Hall of Fame badges, a little bit shorter wingspan, but very similar stats. I think he's better. I think he's better than Opal AD. I think he's worse than Dark Matter AD. But again, he's got Gallo base. I love Gallo base. I don't care what anyone says about Gallo base. Gallo base is great, in my opinion. Gallo base, upper 94, Pro 2, Pro 3. He's a near perfect card. He's flawless. He is flawless, in my opinion, in this game, like, if you're looking for big men. And then, one position higher, we have got Anthony Davis right here. I mean, he's a slight upgrade. Anthony Davis versus Wendell Carter Jr.'s preference. I think Anthony Davis has the longer wingspan. I think more people do like Anthony Davis than like Wendell Carter Jr. And even though Wendell Carter Jr. has a better behind the back and better release, in my opinion, I still think going for Anthony Davis is probably... Or saying Anthony Davis is better than Wendell Carter Jr. is probably accurate. So, yeah, they're very close. They are very close. So, that is where he is going. So, at number 77, we have got one of the most underrated players in the game, Hakeem. I have never played against Hakeem. No one talked about him. Like, nobody talked about Hakeem Olajuwon when the Spotlight Sims were announced. He's good, man. He's good. But Set Shot 18 is fine. His release is fine. It's not great. It's fine. Pro 2, Pro 3, 7 foot tall. He's got a nice wingspan as well. He's also got 51 hops. Look at these stats, like not yet 90 speed. It's still fine. All the shooting badges, all the defensive badges. He's got pretty much all the badges. He's got 69 total. He's got every badge that you need from a card in this game. And again, he's completely free. His challenge isn't easy though. Like, you do need to get 17 blocks in a game with him. Or not with him. You need to get 17 blocks in a game to get him, which is by no means easy. I will say that is one of the, without doubt, more difficult spotlight sims. But at the same time, it's worth it, man. It's worth it. If you can get yourself Hakeem Olajuwon, he is one of the best centers in the game. Because he was really outshined by the fact that Arvydas Sabonis and James Wiseman were both available in spotlight sims. But no, he's still really, really good. Then after Hakeem Olajuwon, we have got Jonathan Isaac at number 76, Galaxy Opal. So Jonathan Isaac, Galaxy Opal. And I just realized, I do apologize, I forgot to put the counter in the corner. I know you guys do want to see a counter in the corner. That I did completely forget to put into this video, so I do apologize. But I'll call out the number before every single one anyway. So if you want to hear what player it is, I'll call out the number. But Jonathan Isaac, he's 7 foot tall, small forward, with a solid release on very quick. Pro 2, Pro 3, can curry slide on next gen. Has got all the badges you need except Showtime. And I mean, just put Showtime on him. I'm pretty sure 75 tokens to get Showtime in this game. Like, I don't think it's too difficult. So you can just go, I mean, you can go and buy Showtime if you want. As well as that, I mean, he's just pretty much perfect. His jumper is really nice. He moves very, very well. He's definitely better on next gen than current gen, but I mean, he's still spectacular on current gen. He's better defensively on current gen. He's a better shooter on next gen. And like, again, Jonathan Isaac got 76 on this list. Like, we're a quarter of the way through the list and we've just hit Jonathan Isaac. Like, that just shows how good this top 100 is. At 75, we got a guy who's actually better stats-wise than his card, stats and badges-wise than his card last year, who ended the year as a top 30 card, Pascal Siakam. So, like, I'm gonna make one more of these tier lists probably at the end of. Like, it is only going to be 3 weeks, but I will be making one of these at the end of Season 9. Kind of like, I'll be doing like a final everything at the end of Season 9. Because it'll be like the start of August. So, yeah. Siakam, he shoots it well. Got base 75. He's basically just a power forward version of Brandon Ingram. And again, Ingram's very, very high. So it just shows like how close all these players are. He's a little bit undersized to the power forward right now. Whereas this last year, I know height did matter, but there weren't any like dribble god 7'4" centers last year, whereas there are this year. So yeah, Siakam, he doesn't really have a spot in the current meta of my team, unfortunately. At 74, we have got Josh Smith. Josh Smith, in my opinion, is one of the most underrated players in this game. I still think he's one of the best 2 guards in the game. I actually thought, when I was reacting to Ty's video, I actually thought that I was going to end up with Josh Smith in my top 50. I have him at 74. He wasn't even particularly close to making my top 50, honestly. But he's 6'9" with a 7-foot wingspan. Incredible defensive animations. 91 3-ball, 94 speed, 96 lateral quick. It's like perfect stats and badges. Like, whatever about 50, 60 Hall of Fame badges, he has got perfect stats and badges. John Wall, I'm very quick. And I'm a huge fan of his release. I know some people don't like his upper, but I mean, I do. I am a very, very much a fan of John Wall's upper. Or say not John Wall's upper, Josh Smith's upper, and I just think he's unbelievable card. Lefty release. Like, if you have to run him at the end of the year at your point guard, you're not going to be too outclassed. It doesn't matter. You could come up against a freaking Invincible Bol or Manute Bol, and you could probably match up to him a little bit. So, Josh Smith. Then we have got, speaking of Manute Bol, we got Manute Bol. He's a cheese ball. No ifs or buts, no other way about it. He is a cheese ball. That's the whole thing. Like, is he the greatest player in the world? Again, no. Is he one of the cheesiest players in the game? again, yes. Like, he has got 83 speed. If you are mid burst or just running with him on next gen, it's like 99. His set shot 19 is not the greatest, but it's not terrible. He's got fundamental dribble style, which is not actually awful. And he's 7'7" with an 8'5" wingspan. And he can play. He can play at the 2. He plays at the 2. Like, you guys know he plays small forward for me. I got Cliff. I got him at small forward. But he is a cheese ball. And there's no other way to describe it. Like, if you know how to hold or2 and the left stick up, you can score with this guy. If you just run. If you actually know. On current gen, you need to know how to speed boost. If you know how to speed glitch on current gen and just hold or2 on next gen, because fundamental dribble style gets good burst animations, he's going to be crazy. And all I'm going to say is, if they give Manute Ball, Brook Lopez, they're going to probably give Manute Ball, Brook Lopez base. I mean, I'm talking about Manute Ball's like next card because he's getting another one. He'll be a center, but he'll probably have Brook Lopez base and shifty dribble style on Pro 2. That will be the best card in my team. Don't get me wrong. Like, maybe not. Maybe not. Sean Bradley might be the best. Like, there are 2 cards left, 3 cards left that could potentially be the best card in my team, even above Yao and Bol and Taco. And that's Sean Bradley, Ralph Sampson, and Manute Ball. I think the one that has potential to be the best is Manute, followed by Bradley, then followed by Sampson. Okay, so after Manute Ball, we have got Kobe Opal. I love Kobe in this game. And it's weird because I hated this Kobe with a passion. I really, really think Kobe's good. I think his stats are like, he plays almost the same as his Invincible in game. Kobe on very quick, Pro 2, Pro 3. Kobe release on very quick. Kobe's release has been at best mediocre in other years, whereas this year it's fantastic. Then we have got at number 71, we have got Kevin Porter Jr. So I know you might be asking, why is KPJ way higher than the other KPJ? Because he has a dark matter. Nah, there is no comparison. There is no comparison between the Kevin Porter Juniors. So if you're looking at badges, and they both have the same badges, their stats are basically the same. The difference is, though, is that base 29 on very quick is so much better than base 29 on quick. Anyone who's used both Kevin Porter Juniors will tell you this one's so much better than the other one. It's not even funny how much better he is. And after KPJ, we have got Ben Wallace. Again, I thought Ben Wallace was going to be higher. I think his release is cash. If you want to argue, like, this is the weird thing, is that Ben Wallace is going to be, I can guarantee you there are at least 20 people in my comment section who Ben Wallace is their favorite player in 2K. And that is perfectly fine, because again, all these cards are perfect. He's basically an invincible card. You're looking at his stats, looking at his badges, he's basically an invincible card. Base 38, Pro 2, Pro 3. Base 38 is a quality release as well. Like, he is a perfect MyTEAM card. He's just, for me, a little bit small to play at the power forward position. So I have him in at 70. But again, if you want to argue, I don't think you can really argue him top 20 when you see the top 20 cards. But if you want to argue that he's a top 40 card, look, I'm not gonna say you're wrong, because he's spectacular. Then after Ben Wallace, we have got Clyde the Glide Drexler. This guy right here, 92 3 ball. He's got 97 speed, 97 acceleration, 98 driving dunk. He's also got, again, pretty much every badge you need. He's got 43 huffs. And again, like, is there some bias with the fact this dude's 5k MT? Yes. Or he's discard value. He's got base 5, Pro 2 escape, Pro 3 behind the back. And again, base 5, you guys know that's the Dean Wade release. It is, I'm trying to think of my favorite releases in the game. It's probably my favorite on next gen. And I'm not the only one, man. If you guys have been watching Jester's No Money Spend series, he balls out with him. He balls out with him. Speaking of that, I just realized, did I forget? I was like, did I forget to put Chris Middleton on the list? Yeah, I think I forgot Chris Middleton. If you want to put Chris Middleton around this spot as well, I'm perfectly fine with that as well. Chris Middleton's fantastic. Okay, so now after that, we have got number 68. John Collins. So John Collins, Kobe base, 6'9", 6'11 wingspan, pretty much perfect stats. Kobe base on very quick. He feels taller than 6'9". Like some guys, they're 6'9", but they feel a little bit small. He's 6'9". Even with a small wingspan, I just don't know why he feels tall. But again, he is an elite shooter, an elite rebounder. Like, well, a very solid rebounder. He can curry on next gen. Like, he's a really, really good card, especially on next gen. He's decent on current gen. Don't get me wrong, he's decent on current gen. But on next gen, oh no, there's levels to it. Like, he's easily top 50 on next gen, but he would be kind of in the lower end if we're talking current gen, so I've got him down this low. Then after John Collins, we have got Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons. Like, the only difference between this card, there are two differences between this card and the Dark Matter. Hot zones and 3-point, not even, and position. 3-point rating, you're saying, anyone who wants to say, oh, 85, 3-point rating. You get Frank Vogel, that 3-point rating is gone up to an 88. If you have a player on your team with floor general, that 3-point rating has gone up to 92. You put a cheap enough, a like 5k diamond shoe on him, that 3-point rating has gone up to 95. If you cannot green with a 95, or if you are missing with a 95 3 ball, it's on you. It's on you. Like, the rating doesn't mean anything. The hot zones do matter, which is why if he had hot zones everywhere outside the 3-point line, this Ben Simmons would be a top 25 card in the game. But he doesn't, so he's down here. But again, he's got better total stats than this Ben Simmons. The only difference is that he's a primary center. If you made this card primary point guard, he automatically becomes a 99 overall. But yeah, so if you're looking at the Ben Simmons cards, one extra badge, but he's better in a lot of like interior stats. Only gold range versus half range is another one, but still, for me, this Ben Simmons is still a fantastic, fantastic card. And he's a lot better on next gen because hot zones only matter if you're not greening. Like, if you're greening anyway, hot zones don't matter. And you're going to green a lot more consistently on next gen than current gen. So, I understand that if you're on current gen. If you don't like him. But man, he's probably top 30 on next gen. So, you got to put him here. Then we have got Yijian Lian. Okay, I can't search him up. There we go. 7 foot tall shooting guard. He's like a 7 foot tall, less mobile Jonathan Isaac. He's got a long wingspan. Like, again, this is another one of those cards that I was like at the start of the year. When he came out, I thought he was going to be spectacular. I thought, like, he was 70k when he came out. And that was this season. This has been the longest season ever. This season's longer and feels longer than season 6. That's all I'm going to say. It just feels like the longest season this year so far. But, yeah, so he has got base 70, a good shooter. He can't do anything with the ball except shoot, which is why he's down as low as he is. But man, he's a 7 foot tall 2 guard. Like, if this card was a card in NBA 2K20, he would be top 30. He's now at 66, and I can guarantee you he will be just about scraping onto his spot in the top 100 in the final list, which will be at the end of this season. At the end of season 9, we will do like a one final list. And he will be, I can guarantee you, he will be just scraping onto his spot on the list. Then after E, we have got Allen Houston. He's next gen made. He's not like unusably awful on current gen. He's not good though. But the thing is, he does have steady / blinders. You're like only 47 hops, only 4 goals. Like, how is someone with 51 badges great? Because I mean, he's got 97 3 ball, half blinders, shifty, Ray Allen Clay. He's got the best upper on a Ray Allen base there is. He's got Pro 3, Pro 2 odds. He's like a completely, like, I don't have Beal on this list, don't have Ray Allen, don't have Pete Maravich. He's like a completely juiced up Pete Maravich. So, telling you, he is next gen, just god tier. He is just absolutely god tier on next gen. So yeah, Allen Houston in here at, he's still quite low. He's still 65, but he's God tier next gen. Then at 64, we got Jalen. We got Jalen Rose. Apparently, the guy who claims he's the first person in the world to be named Jalen. He's got 7 foot tall wingspan. Or so he's got 7 foot long wingspan. And he's got 96 speed, 93 lateral quickness. I really like his release. Nice lefty release. A good tall point guard. Again, it's funny. This card is actually better in terms of like stats and stuff. I'm pretty sure this card's better than his 99 overall last year. And like his, I'm pretty sure for me, I ranked every one of, it was around this time last year. I probably will start doing it next week. I ranked every dark matter or opal point guard. Opal was 99s last year, from worst to best, and he was like number 3. And this year, this card's better, and he's maybe top 10. If he's lucky, he's top 10. Then we have got, we got RJ Barrett. I like RJ Barrett. I think he's pretty good. I think maybe I have him a little bit too high. But he's 6'7", 6'10" wingspan. He's got Rudy base. He's also got the Pro 2, Pro 3. And he's lefty. So I do pretty much like him. Honestly, I think I probably should have just put the other. I probably should have put the other RJ Barrett somewhere in my top. If I'm putting this RJ Barrett in top 100 or this high, I should have put the other one top 100. I'm still stand by my statement that I don't believe there's much of a difference between the two RJ Barrett cards. I really don't. So for me, I probably should have put the other one somewhere here. But one of them's on the list anyway, and RJ Barrett's definitely good enough that at least one of them belongs in the top 100. But I do think the pink dime or the opal is supremely underrated in my opinion. Okay, so next we have got basically RJ Barrett. It's like you guys can see Rudy Melo, Pro 2, Pro 3, Pro 8 crossover. Man, that card would have been the best card in the damn world in NBA 2K20. This is the card. 96, 92. You're doing total stats 3 out of 30. Then we got Terry Dishinger. Rudy Melo, Pro 2, Pro 3, Pro 8. I mean, they're the same card, except he's got 100 better total stats. And in terms of badges, you got some more Hoff badges, but you got a lot less gold badges. I think Terry's a little bit better. He just has the little bit longer wingspan, but like they're the same damn card. They're just one's he's left-handed. He's a right-handed, but slightly better RJ Barrett. Then at number 61, I have no idea. I have written Invincible. So now I need to find out who the player is. It's not Dwight Howard. I need to try to remember who the card is. I think it was meant to be Carmelo Anthony. I think it was Melo. It has to be. No, actually it's not. I know who it is. It's freaking Tatum. It's Tatum. I don't think Tatum's that much better. Like, you might be, like, I know a lot of people are still really hyped on Tatum. Because he's fine. He's good. He's an invincible card. His release is good enough. Like, it's not the greatest release in the world. It's not the worst release in the world. Like, 107 is an easy release to green. It's also a very, very awkward release on next gen. It's a very easy release time on current gen. So, we are going to put him here. Pro 2, Pro 3, 99 every stat. Basically every Hall of Fame badge. I mean, 61 Hall of Fame badges isn't even a lot for an Invincible, which is kind of crazy. Although, like, again, stats, you're not gonna find a problem with his stats or badges. Like, he's freaking Tatum Invincible. But, like, he's okay. He's okay. That's the only way I can describe him. He is mediocre. Then after Jason Tatum, we have got Dino Raja. And I know you guys might be saying, I'm crazy thinking Jason Tatum's better, or Dino's better than Tatum. We all have our opinions. And I just think Dino's 7'11" wingspan and his just ability to run around everyone on next gen is better at the power forward than Tatum at power forward. So, 6'11", 7'11" wingspan, 96 3 ball, 92 speed. He's only got 88 lateral, but I mean, he's still fine. The one problem is he doesn't come with Showtime, which is kind of weird, but look, it is what it is. He doesn't come with Showtime, but at the same time, he has got, he's got the Showtime dunk, so all you have to do is just give him gold Showtime and he's fine. Pro 2, Pro 3, and still one of the best centers in the game. And his arms go down to his ankles, which is incredible. Then at 59, we have got one of the glitchiest players in the game on Next Gen. If you guys have seen just the way that Sabonis runs on Next Gen, you guys will know why I have him here. You guys will know why I have him. Like, again, I'm not the most... I mean, it's hard to describe this card. Set Shot 8's a fine release. Not a great release, but it's a fine release. Same as Yeo's. But he just moves different. He's got 89 speed, Pro 6 behind the back, which isn't great, but his 89 speed feels like 99. He just runs around everyone. He plays decent defense. His wide player build helps a little bit for the next gen blow-bys, because again, he's going to be so slow on a... If you guys don't know, he will be one of the slowest players on defense, but he's just a beast on offense. He's an absolute beast, and for me, he has been surprisingly good. He's honestly been surprisingly good for me, so I am going to put him in here. Then we have got at number 58, 57, and 56, we have got Magic Johnson, Magic Johnson, and Magic Johnson. Sorry, Magic Johnson, Magic Johnson, and Magic Johnson. I've not noticed a difference between any of these cards. I haven't. Like, I've used all three of them. I didn't notice a difference. Like, I felt like they all played the exact same way. They all finally run, which is a good sign, because the one that I have my cursor on right now couldn't run on current gen. Like, Hero Magic legitimately could not run on current gen. And it is a very, like, as we all know, running is quite an important thing in my team. Like, it is very, like, of all things that a player should be able to do, being completely honest, running is is one of the more important things. So, Magic, the problem with Magic is all three of these guys have got Magic on very quick. The problem is the Magic Johnson release. They all do a fantastic job going to the basket, but they've just got the Magic Johnson release. And every player has the same SIGs now, so it's not like last year where Magic just actually had better SIGs than the vast majority of guys. So, yeah, like, he's low. He's low. He's here at 56. Then at 55, we have got Tracy McGrady. So T-Mac, I like him. Again, T-Mac only on quick instead of very... Or Treyberg, sorry, on quick instead of very quick. Is that the greatest thing in the world? No. Like, you would obviously much rather see that on very quick than quick. But he's still got Pro 2, Pro 1 behind the back, the quick dribble style. His jumper is still really nice because, again, it's freaking T-Mac. So it's always going to be a good release. He's 6'8" with a 7'2" wingspan. He's definitely a next-gen player. He is definitely a next-gen player. Because the thing is, he has got... he's got blinders, so he's not really going to be the best player on current gen. But for me, like, especially a guy who came out at the start of Season 6 and 26, like, he came out in freaking March. He still is one of the best. He's still one of the best guys in the game. And man, we all had such high hopes, didn't we? We all had such high hopes when he came out at the start of Season 6, but man, Season 6 was a rough season. Then we got Batum. I like Nick Batum. 92 offense, 94 defensive overall. I kind of sometimes forget how good this card is, and then I use him again. Like, I replaced him with Darius Miles in my squad, and then I remember everyone was telling me, he's like, why did you replace Darius Miles? Why did you get rid of Darius Miles? Because basically, Darius Miles is my backup point guard. And when I got Hito came in from Batum. And I realized Batum's so much better. Batum is a god on next gen. One of the best defensive players in the game, one of the best rim runners, one of the best dunkers, one of the best shooters in the game at the point guard position. Like, again, if you guys watched the tournament game, the last tournament game I played, probably will be the last tournament game I play this year. Just because I don't know, my team competitions got too sweaty. They got way too sweaty, and I'm just not. Like, if you're not playing this game every single day consistently, you're just not going to be good enough, and I'm not good enough to compete in tournaments anymore. So Nick Batum, again, the last tournament I did play in, Batum was my star. Like, Batum and the freaking Ben Simmons Pink Diamonds were my two stars. So he's got to be somewhere. And current gen, he's not great, but I mean, next gen, he's a god. After Nick Batum, we have got LaMelo Ball. He's fine. I'm not nearly as high on LaMelo Ball as most people. I like 38. I like his release. I do think his release is good. The problem with LaMelo is it's just, I don't know. He just doesn't feel that much better than Nick Batum. I use Melo a ton. And I'm like, you know what, Melo? I was like, Melo is really good. Don't get me wrong, Melo is really good. I always just thought, but anytime I used him, I was like, but something. Like, he was. Like, I used him and I was just like, is he that much better? Initially, when I used him, I was like, is he that much better than Alonzo? I was like, maybe not. He is that much better than Alonzo. But, like, every time I use him, I just think, is he that much better than a much cheaper option? And it's a weird one because I was LaMelo Ball biggest fan in NBA 2K20. And this card could, like, probably should be better, but no, I have him down here at number 53. And number 52, I think Darius Miles is better when you take both gens into account. Next gen, Darius Miles is not as good as Batum. Current gen, he's way better than Batum. I really like Darius Miles' release on both gens. I was shooting around with him on current gen just to see, because people are telling me his release is disgusting on current. I mean, I like it on both. 6'9", 7 foot wingspan. Like, he's at 92 3 ball. Like, even if you guys compare stats wise to LaMelo Ball, there's not much of a difference. Like, if you compare stats wise, obviously it looks like there's a lot of a difference, but 25 of them are in post hook, and then 110 are in passing vision and passing IQ, which don't matter. So, like, in the actual stats that matter, there is a difference. There's not that much of a difference. I keep forgetting. I was like, you cannot compare total stats of a Galaxy Opal to total stats of a Dark Matter, because to keep these Galaxy Opals below 99, they, like, completely reduce all their passing IQ and passing vision stats because they don't freaking do anything. Okay, then we have got number 51. We got Penny. He moves different. Like, I don't know what it is, what type of running animations 2K gave Penny Hardaway, but he moves differently. It doesn't matter what gen you are on, he moves different. Base, I don't like his release off the dribble. It's fine off the catch, do not like off the dribble. Don't like it in general next gen, don't like off the dribble on current gen. He's got 99 lateral, 99 driving dunk. Again, he's an invincible card. Pro 2, Pro 3, 6'7", 6'10" wingspan. Again, him versus Miles versus LaMelo versus the next guy, LeBron, versus the guy ahead of LeBron is all preference. I just realized we have gone on outside of Dark Matter Magic, we went on a 10 streak of point guards. We've got out of position point guard LeBron. I mean, he's got perfect stats. Pro 2, Pro 2, Pro 3. He's got King Curry on next gen. I mean, LeBron release is LeBron release at the end of the day. It's not very good. But he's fine. He's fine. He is Dark Matter number 4 of at least 6 for LeBron James. We've just seen way too many Dark Matter LeBrons, in my opinion. Like, 4 is enough. We will see at least 6 of them this year. Like, there are legitimately going to be 19 LeBron James cards in my team. 19. Oh, lads, that is a That is a crazy, crazy number right there. But yeah, LeBron in here at number 50. Starting off our top 50. At number 49, we got Alexei Pokusevski. I've just realized we've spent 50 minutes on our top first 50 players. This video is going to be long. So Alexei Pokusevski is in here at 49. He's basically like, if he had a better release, he would be one of the best players in the game. He's got the skinny player build, so he moves like Bol. He moves really like Bol. Because again, skinny players, I don't know what it is in this game, skinny players just move differently. Pro 2, Pro 3. He's got 94 speed, 93 lateral quickness, 7 foot tall point guard. He's got a not good release. And I will say that, like, if you expect this release to be even average, you'll be wrong, because it's not good. It's bad. Like, his release is bad. But other than that, and the fact that 2K said he's from the wrong country, he's spectacular. Then after Pokusevski, finally, lads, we are off our point guard streak. We are off our point guard streak with number 48, Joel Embiid. Not this Embiid. This Embiid is underrated, but this Embiid right here. He's got Pro 2, he's got Shifty, he's got Zach LaVine base. I mean, you could argue that in certain situations, he's like just smaller taco. And in reality, he probably is. Can't Curry, which is, look, it is a problem. It's not that big a problem. It is, like, it's a downside. He's got nearly perfect stats. He's just a better Deandre Ayton. Honestly, he's just a better Deandre Ayton. Then number 47, we get the best defensive player in the game, Cliff Robinson. Cliff is insane. I like Waiter's base. And again, I tried him out on current gen. Albeit, like, I'm not good at greening with anybody. So the fact that I can green with him at the same rate as I green with pretty much everybody on current gen, that's not base 98, isn't really saying much. Like, it's a little bit different with me when I go to current gen, because I can't green with anybody, and I can't green consistently with anyone. So the fact that I'm not greening that consistently with Waiter's base makes no difference. But still, it's chicken on next gen. And I mean, he's got Pro 2, Pro 3, 6'10", 7 foot wingspan, plays the 2. It's all the best defensive animations in the game. 97 lateral, 95 driving dunk, 94 speed to ball and acceleration, 94 or 95 3 ball. Every defensive badge in the game. I mean, he's one of the most underrated cards in the game and deserves his spot this high, in my opinion. At number 46, and I can't believe Dikembe Mutombo is number 46. Not this card. If you guys don't remember, this specific card was once ran against Ty in a tournament game. Someone beat him running with this Dikembe Mutombo. I remember very vividly, because everyone's like, what the hell is this guy doing running Dikembe? But yeah, 7'2", 7'6" wingspan. Player model, huge. Some of the best interior defensive animations in the game. 92 speed, 92 acceleration, 94 3 ball, 96 lateral. Got every defensive badge in the Hall of Fame. Can Pro 2 side to side. Can quick stop. Pro 3 behind the back. He's god tier, and I'm just in shock that he's this low. But that's just how good cards are in this game. At number 45, we got Invincible Jokic. Current gen god, next gen garbage man, which is the case with a lot of players. So he has got base 38, which is really good on both gens in my opinion. Slasher dribble style, which is awful on next gen. Like, that means he can't burst on next gen, so you can't use him in primary. But he's got 99 every single stat. He's freaking Nikola Jokic. If you want to use him as a cone point guard, he's actually elite at that. I will say, like, if you want to use him like he's Lamar Odom or like he's Larry Bird, he's elite. But like, if you want to pay $2 million for a cone point guard, he is one of the worst value cards in the game. Not saying that if you want to get him, don't get him, but it is one of the worst value things in the world. Like, hence, like, there are certain cars that are some of the worst value is like investing in a new car is one of the worst there's some of the worst value things in the world because of how much you lose right away. And like, but again, if you want to do it, do it. That's what I always say in these videos. Like, if you want to spend your money, blow your money on cards, that's fine. But the purpose of these videos is to say what's good value or not. So just because you want to buy it does not make it good value. This card is a prime example of that. I had people complaining. I made a video basically saying he was terrible value, and it was an entire comment section full of people saying, I'm just going to buy who I want. I'm just going to buy who I want. You can't tell me not to buy the card. It's like, no, I just said he's bad value. There's a difference. Do what you want, have fun. But a bad value card is a bad value card. A bad card is a bad card. I don't care. Again, if Iverson's your favorite player, go ahead and use him. Does not mean Iverson's not a garbage man in 2K. This card here, if Jokic is your favorite player, go and use him. Does not mean that he's good on next gen, because he stinks on next gen. Then after that, we have got... that's a bit of a rant over. We got Chris Webber. I'm wondering why this video is taking so long. Webber is one of the most underrated cards in the game. 57 Hall of Fame badges. He's got a bunch of golds. He's like, imagine or Ben Wallace with a much, much better jump shot and much better, and similar stats. He has 72 total badges. Kemba base, one of the best bases in the game. It is one of the best releases in the game. It wasn't the case of people just being a fan of Webber because no one had a good release back then. Kemba base is legitimately chicken. Pro 2, Pro 3, shifty dribble style. I'm pretty sure... I'm not even sure if Ty even had him on his top 100 list. But Webber is so good. Like, Webber in here at, like, 43. Like, that is... For me, that's a little bit high. And I have just realized at number 43, I have Dikembe in twice. So, yeah, I've not noticeably forgotten anybody yet. So, I won't know what to do, but I don't know who to put in there. So, at 42, we got Invincible Dirk. So, Invincible Dirk, again, I don't like that release, but he's an Invincible Dirk Nowitzki with shifty dribble style. Can't curry, but he can burst. And he can side-to-side spam. Got all the defensive badges. He is incredible. I think he's a little bit better than a Jokic in my opinion. But I'm still not that high on Dirk. Then after Dirk Nowitzki at number 41, not number 5, we have got Cam Reddish. Kind of where he belongs, around like the 40 mark. He's got 94 3 ball, no real post game, 95 speed, 95 acceleration, 95 lateral quickness. He's got pretty much all the defensive badges. He's got pretty much everything you need. Again, just like most of these other cards, they got perfect stats. He's got Pro 2, Pro 5 behind the back, which is okay, but it's not great. It's good on current gen. He's got Paul George upper and Paul George base, so he's literally just a Paul George clone. Hence why Paul George is one spot ahead of him. Paul George Dark Matter is one spot ahead of Cam Reddish. So Paul George versus Cam Reddish, they are clones of each other, if you guys don't know. So they are, the only difference is you got a different signature size up and you've got a better behind the back on Paul George. Same release, basically the same dunking animations. Badges wise, you've got 3 extra huffs on Cam Reddish, which are like freaking cross key scorer, and they both have unpluckable. I mean, break starter. I mean, needle threader might make a difference. Pass fake maestro. I mean, box is actually a handy badge, but again, just put it on bronze. It's not going to change anything. But like, they're the same stats and badges wise. Or sorry, the same badges wise. The difference is that stats wise, George is a little bit better. Like 35 of them are standing dunk, that doesn't matter too much. And then a few of the stats are better in post moves. So there's not a significant difference, but he's just very, very slightly better. And he's also an inch taller. So I'll give the slight advantage to Paul George here at number 40. At number 39, we've got Team USA, Michael Jordan. And at this is not Team USA, it's 2 Pantheon Jordans. And then at number 38 is Invincible Jordan. The only real difference between these guys is the position. Like, you're looking at the badges and thinking there's a difference, but I mean, they play the exact same in game. There is absolutely no difference, lads. There is absolutely no difference between the 2 Jordans, except for one, like this one's slightly better, so we have to put them slightly ahead. There is one specific scenario of a USA player being one spot ahead of the Invincible, and there's one scenario of the USA player being a good bit below the Invincible. And you'll see him coming up in a few. And then at number 37, we have got the exact same thing again. So we got 37, we have Team USA Kobe. And then 36, we have Invincible Kobe. Do they play any different in game? I mean, I haven't noticed anything. I've tried out both of them and they feel the exact same. But just obviously, like, just get the Team USA one. It's probably the most no-brainer tactical downgrade in my team. Then at number 35, we have got Rudy. who is like a point guard and slightly better version of Terry Dishinger. Again, may as well be an Invincible card. Pro 2, Pro 3, 56 half badges. He's got 68 total badges with 12 golds as well. 97 ladder quickness, 96 3 ball. Got everything in terms of defense. And he's just got everything in general. Good shooter, 6'8" with a 7'3" wingspan at point guard. Like, you just can't. You just cannot get much better than this. And he's not even that expensive, like, which is kind of crazy. Like, he's actually a pretty decent value card. And initially, I think I would have Poku FC over him. But no, Rudy's better than Poku. I mean, on next gen, give me Poku over him, but if we're taking both gens into account, Rudy is definitely better. So he is in here at 35. At 34, we have got a situation where the one situation where the USA card is weaker than the Invincible card. It is Kevin Durant. I mean, anytime I've used them on current gen, where I've used them on current gen more than I've used Kevin Durant on next gen, I like him on current gen and next gen. He's unbelievable on next gen though. This card here in particular, I haven't actually used the Invincible Kevin Durant on next gen, but they're the same card. The only difference is that this one has got small forward, power forward, primary, and secondary. The reason why that is a huge negative is, again, it's tough because Bobo, like if you're looking at the small forward, power forward, center. First of all, power forward center is too stacked a position. He's not even as good as Pink Diamond Bobo. Like that position is way too stacked. So he's never making a team as a power forward, like a top team as a power forward. And then at the center position, at the small forward position, if you're looking at elite teams, you can argue that the Kevin Durant is the best two guard in the game. But small forward, you got Bobo, you got LeBron, you got Hito as well. You've got a lot of guys at that small forward position. There's a lot less. Two guard is really just AK Braun, T-Mac, and for some crazy people, Cam Reddish and Paul George as well. So I do hold that a little bit against him. But yeah, he is in at number 37. So no, at number 34. At number 33, one of the most underrated cards in the game, Mo Bamba. He's like, imagine Dino, but better in pretty much every way. So he's basically got the Dino type wingspan. He can curry on next gen. Base 109, which is better than Dino's release. Pro 3 behind the back. He's got range extender. He's also got like 96 speed, 94 lateral quickness. He's got a 94 3 ball, which is, again, essentially 99 everything. He shoots the ball ridiculously well. Handles it well. Defends at an elite rate. Like, again, we've all used Mo Bamba cards in the games over the last 2 years. We all know how Mo Bamba defends. So, yeah, for that reason, Mo Bamba is going to be in here at number 33. I know a lot of you guys are probably shocked to see that, but, I mean, I do like Mo Bamba. And number 32 is, I was about to say I thought it was his dynamic duo, but it's actually the better version of his dynamic duo. It's Jonathan Isaac. So Isaac is just like a Hall of Fame Showtime, just juiced up version of the Opal. There's not that much of a difference. Honestly, if you put him into the hands of most people, they wouldn't notice that much of a difference, but he is better. And that's the thing, like you could realistically have, like, there are a few people where Scotty is realistically going to be their favorite player. And like, they're not wrong if Scotty's their favorite player, because Scotty's pretty good. So yeah, for me, it's a case of just, he's spectacular. And even though he is like 50 spots ahead of his other card, there's really not that much of a difference. Those 50 spots aren't really going to be different between you winning and losing a game in a lot of situations. So at number 30, I think, is Tracy McGrady. It's Invincible Tracy McGrady, actually. So I've gone for Invincible Tracy McGrady and then point guard Tracy McGrady. I've put point guard Tracy McGrady one ahead of Invincible Tracy because I think they're very even in a lot of ways. And in the ways they're very even is that they're basically the same stats wise. The only difference is that this one has blinders and this one doesn't. And you might say, oh, I'm a next gen player, I'm going to give next gen bias. No, I'm going to say they're dead even. And one's better on current gen, one's better on next gen. But the thing I like with this T-Mac here is that I think point guard's a better secondary position than small forward. So, yeah, point guard Tracy McGrady is going in right here as my number 29. At number 28, we've got a guy from the original fan favorite set, and it's Thon Maker. So Thon Maker, 7 foot tall, 7'3" wingspan, 94 speed, 94 acceleration, 94 3-pointer, 92 lateral quickness, defensive badge, he's got everything. Base 47. He's like, imagine Joel Embiid, but he can play small forward. And again, he's another one at that small forward position that I do believe is better than someone like a Kevin Durant. But again, a spectacular player. Then after Thon Maker, we have got, I'm pretty sure this is 70 spots ahead of where Ty had him. We have Antoine Jameson. Freaking Luka Doncic 2.0. He's like Luka Doncic, but he's an inch taller with a much better wingspan. He's got Exum base with mellow upper. And like we all know, mellow upper is unbelievable. Pro 1 behind the back, Pro 2 escape. Like his stats and badges are pretty much perfect. He is freaking Luka, and his animations are just Luka Doncic clone animations. Like the same behind the back, the same Curry slide. The only difference is that he does play small forward. And that is why Luka Doncic is ahead of him. But Jameson's better. Like Jameson does more than Luka Doncic, but he just plays a worse position. And position makes a difference. It really does make a difference. Jameson's a better defender than Luka. Shooting wise, they're the exact same. He gets some insane. Again, he can do the same 3 hunting. And I know a lot of guys that play this game at a high level, especially on next gen, that run their offense through Jameson. That like they'll have Luka in their starters and they'll run their offense through Luka. And then because there's no one quite like Luka with Exum base, off their bench, they'll go and run Antoine Jameson. And he is also chicken man on current gen. For me anyway, when I use him on current gen, when I use any of these Exum base players, they're chicken. Like you guys saw me using the Exum Braun and I green 7 shots in a row with him in a game of 7 threes in a row with him in a game of triple threat, which was something I've never done before with anyone. And then I did it with freaking Exum Braun. So, yeah, I'm just a big Exum fan, and it doesn't matter what gen. And Ty, if you're watching this when I'm saying I greened a bunch of shots with Exum Braun, that was on current gen, not next gen. Exum is one of my favorite. After 98, Exum's my favorite catch and shoot release probably on next gen. Actually, Lopez base. Lopez is up there. But, yeah, Exum is chicken on next gen. Or on current and next gen. And it's just the best on next gen. It's chicken on current gen. Then at number 26, we have got Kevin Durant Invincible. Difference is that Kevin Durant Invincible can play the 2. So, KD, again, an elite shooter, both gens. Hall of Fame Showtime. He's got half flexible, half range extender. His releases are a little bit fast. And again, a lot of very quick releases can be kind of tricky to green on current gen. Which is a bit of a problem, but like it's an opposite problem. Like if a release isn't very quick, it's gonna feel unbelievably slow if you're on next gen. I can't wait for next year when everything's kind of moved on to next gen, because I mean, I can't wait until maybe a year or two when the current gen system is completely gone, because man, I hate that engine with a passion. Because the next gen systems are so much like it's just so much smoother. Everything about the game. There are flaws in the game. The game's bad, but it's just so much more smooth. Then we have got at number. I'm kind of losing track right now. Number 25 is Larry Bird. We got Larry Bird. And funnily enough, I'm gonna say this right now. On next gen, give me the point guard Larry over this Larry. Give me point guard Larry on next gen over this Larry any day. But again, 65 Hall of Fame badges, 99 3-pointer, 99 speed, 97 speed, 97 acceleration. He's got Larry base, Pro 3 behind the back. Larry and very quick. He's cash on current gen. So next gen, give me this Larry. But this Larry here, you maybe like for me, he's a lot better than like a Jason Tatum. If you want to argue Tatum over him, that's fine. Because again, all of these are preference. When every card has got every single key badge, all the same animations, and 99 every stat, it's all preference. Then, unless of course you're saying Cam Reddish is top 5, and that's just crazy. That's just crazy. Then at number 24, we got Porzingis. Porzingis, again, he moves. He moves. 90 speed, Brook Lopez base, Pro 2, Pro 3. He can side to side. He curries on next gen. 49.5 badges, great shooting. But in my opinion, Bobo's better. Bobo Pink Diamond. Bobo Pink Diamond is just... he's so good. It's hard to describe how... like, it's hard to even describe it, but he's been in the game since freaking April. He came out in April and he's still just god in this game. He's still a god in this game, lads. So, yeah. You all know about Bobo, this side to side, fastest player in the game. He's still my freaking power forward, like. He's still my power... actually, no, sorry. Since I got Taco, he's no longer my power forward. But he's still in my squad, and he'll be in my squad till the end of the year. At number 21, we have got Invincible Paul George. Again, PG base. He's not that much better, honestly, than the other Paul George, but he plays point guard instead of small forward, which is a little bit better. 64 half badges, PG release, good behind the back of Pro 3. Just an all-around good card. Then after Paul George, we have got Luka Doncic. So Luka Doncic, 9 in offense, 9 in defense overall. 6'7", 6'8" wingspan. Again, perfect stats. I am right now, like, again, I will get Luka Doncic. I will get him the next video on this channel. Well, you will see another video tonight about the fact that we got Luka Doncic. I have like not even an hour playing this game left to get him. I just really got lazy once I got to like 100,000 XP. And instead of taking one day like it took most people, it took me 6 weeks. But yeah, Luka Doncic, baller. Absolute baller. Exum base. One of the best point guards in the game on both gens. And again, he's very similar to Jameson, but he plays a much better position. At number 19, we got Moses Malone. What can I say? He's an invincible player. Because he's 6'10", he plays unbelievable defense on next gen. And he's chicken. Do I regret not playing limited? Hell no. It was 6 weeks of limited, and week 1, it took me 23 games to get my first ring, and I just was not bothered after that. I really don't mind at all. Then we have got Balake Griffin at number 18. Really good shooter. Blake base is really, really good. Especially on current gen. He's not the greatest on next gen, but he's unbelievable on current gen. Pro 2, Pro 3, perfect stats. Great guy to run the point guard. I mean, if you want to argue he's the best point guard in the game on current gen, I mean, you can make that argument. You can legitimately make that argument. He's fantastic. Then at number 17, we got Kawhi Leonard. I mean, if you just want someone to lock up your opponent because of his defensive animations and hit three-point shots, he's the best in the game. Like, he is the best cone in the game. Like, Opal Kawhi, I forgot to put Opal Kawhi on the list, but for me, he'd be somewhere in the 70s. 70s, maybe 80. But yeah, Kawhi is in here at number 17. Really, really good card. Then number 16, we got Ben Simmons. Hot zones everywhere, 44 hot badges, one of the best. In terms of animations-wise, he's one of the best in the game. And it's a weird one, like, actually, to be completely honest, if Ben Simmons does get a 60 Hall of Fame badge card with a Pro 3 behind the back instead of him having the Pro 2 behind the back, yeah, he's probably the best. He's the best point guard in the game. I was the one person campaigning Ben Simmons is the best point guard in the game 2K20, and he's probably the best in 2K21 as well. His animations are ridiculous. At number 15, we got Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Invincible. So Reem on current gen is unbelievable, but Reem on next gen is just not it. And I don't mean not it, like, he's still fantastic. Don't get me wrong, he's still fantastic. But on next gen, he's similar to an Embiid. Whereas I think he's way worse than a Shaq. I think he's way worse than a D-Rob on next gen. But at the same time, he can... well, for me anyway. Like, it all depends on what you want to use your center for. Like, if you just want your center to catch rebounds and play defense and hit wide open jumpers. I mean, if you're on next gen, because of the fact he's 7'2", I don't know. I still think he can be picked apart a little bit. Like, unless, for example, unless you're playing against someone that rotates unbelievably well, and by that I mean unless you're playing against a top 20 player in the world, you can like ISO and play to whoever offense on Kareem and destroy him. And then offensively, he doesn't give you what the other guys give you. Like, for example, if you use a Bol will get killed. Bol, Yao, and Taco will get killed on defense if they're matched up against each other. Like, Taco can't match up to Taco. Like, if you're running with Taco on next gen, you pretty much either have to be playing against someone who doesn't know what they're doing, or run like a Bill Russell to guard the other team's Taco. Because tall guys can't guard tall guys, because tall guys are twice fast with the balls without the ball. Problem is that Kareem has one huge flaw, and it is the... Oh, they updated Kareem! They updated Kareem! Oh my god! I could have swore he had slasher dribble style. Was I wrong with that? No. Oh, sorry. He's got Pro 1. He can't side to side. He can't side to side. That is a bit of a problem. But yeah, again, him versus Shaq, it's all preference. I have him down to 15. I don't know why I swore he had slasher dribble style. Maybe everyone I've played against with this Kareem just sucks. But again, if you want to put him top 10, I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. Like, again, we got Shaq here at 14. And it's preference. Again, same. Shaq's got longer wingspan. There's 1 inch height difference. Release-wise, I prefer Shaq to Kareem. Shaq's got Pro 2, so he can side to side. It's literally, it's preference. It is preference, Shaq versus Kareem. I'm not a big fan of Kareem. But Kareem is better than I thought he was. Man, I'm wrong. I might be wrong with that. He's actually not, he's not terrible on next gen. Still, though, he's not Shaq in my opinion. At number 13, we got Ferry. We had Danny Ferry, who's still clinging on to his spot in the top 15 cards. He'll be out of it soon. But I mean, 98's now is just my favorite release in the game on both gens now. I've started using Hito as my point guard, and now 98 is my favorite release again. I green everything with 98. Pro 2 escape, Pro 3 behind the back, quick dribble style. Base 98, Rudy upper. He's got 95 speed, 95 acceleration, 95 lateral quickness. He's the Kawhi defensive stance. Key defense badge on Hoff, everything else on gold. Again, 67 total badges. He's got everything. 6'10", 7'5 wingspan. Danny Ferry, still one of the best small forwards in the game. Still, in my opinion, significantly better than like a Kevin Durant small forward. Then at number 12, speaking of Hito Turkoglu, we got Hito Turkoglu. Hito Turkoglu, 6'10", 6'11 wingspan, 220 pounds. Curry's on next gen. He's God. He's God on next gen. On current gen, I mean, you maybe can argue. Actually, no, he's better on current gen. He's got freaking 98. He's got Pro 3, Pro 2, base 98. 94 speed, 94 acceleration. Offensively, he's like a pro-am point guard, except he's 6'10". He doesn't get the defense animations of AK, so I don't think he's quite as good. But man, you can make the argument he's as good. And for me, if you guys, again, don't know, I will always have a special place in my heart for Hito Turkoglu. Like my starting lineup of Hito Turkoglu. And for anyone, if you do say a lot of the stuff that I'm, like, if I contradict anything, my starting lineup is literally like Hito. Then I got Cliff, Manute Bol, Bill Russell, and Taco. And then I got, like, Danny Ferry as my primary ball handler off the bench with 98. So, yeah, Hito, absolutely god tier. And number 11, we got, speaking of my starting 5, we got Bill. Bill Russell, 9 in offense, 9 in defense, 6'10", 7'4 wingspan. He is the perfect height for defense on next gen. Because if you're too small, you're going to get killed. But if you're too tall, you're also going to get ran by. 6'10" is the perfect height. You can, like, 6'9's fine. 6'7's fine for Kawhi. You can get away with being 6'11. If you're 7'1 or taller, you're really going to struggle. Bill's the best defensive center in the game on next gen, and he's got Ray Allen base, which is second only to Exum base. Pro 2, Pro 1 behind the back, Ray Allen base. He's unbelievable. Like, again, I said it, he was probably going to be top 10 card in the game. I have him at 11. You could argue him above David Robinson. And David Robinson's another one. I think D-Rob's better than Kareem. I think D-Rob is one of the easiest releases to green on both gens. Pro 2 escape, Pro 3 behind the back. 7'1", 7'5 wingspan. He's got 98 3 ball, 98 speed, 98 acceleration, 99 lateral quickness. Again, just absolutely quality. Every Hall of Fame badge. David Robinson in here at 10. At number 9, we have got LeBron James. And surprisingly, surprisingly with LeBron James, it's Invincible LeBron. Invincible LeBron, 99 speed, Exum base, perfect stats and badges. We all know how good that is. He's so chicken. And then one spot ahead of... Actually, no. I thought it was one spot ahead. One spot ahead of him is Invincible Giannis. We've got Invincible Giannis in here. He has got 99. Again, he's invincible. He's Giannis. He's got shifty dribble style. He can side to side. Problem is, he doesn't make the best starting five. And for me, the best starting five in the game are my top five. So I'm not going to have him there. And then I think you can make more of an argument that the best possible starting five, this Giannis belongs. So I got point guard Giannis. Only difference is you've only got gold range on him. But again, off range is probably going to be in the token market tomorrow. And it already was in the token market as well. It's not difficult to get yourself 200 tokens. I'm sitting here on like 3,000 of them. Yeah. Giannis, just ridiculous. I mean, he's Giannis. It's hard to explain. It's not hard to explain. Then, we got number 6. For free, James Wiseman. James Wiseman is so good. James Wiseman is so good. And I remember who my gap was. Number 31. Where I put in... I had a gap at number 31. That player was that was Opal James Wiseman. That was Opal James Wiseman at 31. I completely forgot. Or wherever it was. There was one spot where I forgot somebody. I think it was 31. But that was meant to be James Wiseman. Opal James Wiseman is really good. He's kind of a little bit worse than a Bol Bol or a Porzingis. But again, Curry base. He can Curry slide. Really good. Great animations. This card is just the other card, just better. He's just better, slightly better at everything. They just boot like basically this card here had the best animations in the game, but his stats were a little bit lacking. But this card here, basically, they just gave him all the stats. They juiced up all his stats and juiced up all his badges. So you got one of the best cards in the game right here. Number 6, one of the best shooting big men in the game, in my opinion. Elite on defense, 7'1", 7'6" wingspan. Wiseman deserves his spot in at number 6. Then we got rounding off our starting five of our best players. We got Team USA LeBron. He's the exact same as the Invincible LeBron, except he can play the 2. And again, as I will say, the 2 guard is not quite as OP as small forward, power forward, center. So LeBron James, like if you're looking small forward, power forward, center, you're looking Giannis at small forward. You're competing with we all know Bol Bol's in my top 4. You're competing with Giannis and Bol Bol. Then you're also competing with David Robinson, Bill Russell, James Wiseman, Hedo Turkoglu. I do think Invincible LeBron's better than Hedo. But Hedo Turkoglu, Danny Ferry, Kawhi, Kareem, Shaq. A small forward, power forward, center is such a tough spot to get into, whereas the 2 guards you're not competing with nearly as good. And LeBron, in my opinion, is the best player to run to 2 in this game. Unless, of course, you think it's Cam Reddish. But then at number 4, we got Taco Fall. Taco, no hot zones anywhere. He's got shifty, can side to side spam, unbelievable on defense. He's just so good. He's just so good. He runs everywhere. He hits jump shots. I've got like shot creating takeover on my own for some reason. And he just hits all these mad step backs when he's got take. Only problem, he's such a liability on defense. He is such a liability on defense. And I've tried him out on current gen and I can't shoot with him. He's got no hot zones on current gen. I green a lot more when I use that Ben Simmons with an 85 rated 3-pointer than I do with this Taco Fall. Yes, this Taco Fall is cheesier. He's glitchier. But for me, I think putting Taco... I think this is a fair spot for him at number 4. I can't justify putting Taco higher. At number 3, we got the number 2 on my last list. We got AK. In my opinion, the best point guard in the game. He's got 98, so it's 300's paradise. Can Curry slide on next gen. One of the best defensive players in the game. For me, he's just Hedo Turkoglu, better on defense. And also a better secondary position. Because if you do want to run like a Ben Simmons the 1, just move AK to the 2. And AK's better at the 2 than LeBron James. So like AK, in my opinion, is in the best starting 5 for 90% of people. He's either in there at the 2. He's either in there at the 2 or in there at the 1. But I think it's just 98's different for me. I've started to really like it on next gen, and anytime I go back to current gen, because the last time that I really took current gen seriously was when I was practicing for the FIBA Pro-Am tournament. So the only release that I was using in practice for FIBA was 98. And there's a reason why when you ever see me going back playing on current gen, I green everything I green most things with 98 and struggle with everything else, because it's the only reason I really practice with this year. But yeah, number 2, Yao Ming. Yao Ming at number 2, 9.5 is 9 defense overall, 6'6" or 7'6", 7'5" wingspan. He's got, again, perfect stats. His release is mediocre. One thing I will say though is, thank God he's got Pro 2, but thank God he's 310 pounds because he can't curry. Because this dude right here may come out tomorrow. Sean Bradley, because he was in the first Space Jam. He's a 235 pound player with the same height and wingspan and a much better release. So Yao may not be that. Sean Bradley may end up as number 1 player in the game tomorrow, which would be hilarious to say. Imagine if at the end of the year Sean Bradley's the best player on my team. But then at number 1 we got Bo. He's just too glitchy. He's not quite as bad on defense as Yao and Taco. He shoots the ball better, way better than Yao and Taco. He feels faster than him. He can curry slide on next gen. Current gen, maybe you've got Yao and Taco out of him. For me, on current gen, I'm taking AK over any of them. But honestly, I'm probably taking AK and Hito over any of them just because of the way I know releases, or LeBron. But I mean, Bo's god tier. Like, Brook Lopez is a good release. Everything about this card is perfect. Like, he was the real end game of my team. And it's just silly how good Bo is. So yeah, that is pretty much it, lads. Add to the top 100. And I have just accidentally dragged over the document instead of dragging over something else. Obviously the document where I have the list of top 100. But anyway, yeah, that is pretty much it, lads. That is the video. Let me know which ones you guys agree with, which ones you guys don't agree with. And as always, like, again, like, you're not going to agree with all of them. And that's the point of these lists. It is just to put out a list there and see how you guys feel about it. So anyway, that's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.